say that we're gonna talk about the whole Oomp Camp movement, the Oomp Camp records, Oomp Camp productions, and the go from the record stores to Hitman Sammy Sam, Baby D, and if I leave out anything, you jump in and you help me. To DJ Monte, DJ Jelly. I mean, Oomp. As you sit back and you look at your importance and your thumbprint on the culture, well, what are your thoughts on? I mean, not to sit in the trophy room and dwell on the things you've done, but when you look back at your contribution to what, and you look at Atlanta now, like, what are your thoughts? What's your feeling on how you? I mean, because bro, you've been real important to this shit, dog.
Well, man, I look back on Atlanta and I be like, I'm glad they done got this far and they never leave. Because when I first got started, it was very corporate here and wasn't no underground really. Like, wasn't nobody really doing it underground. Like, you couldn't even get your product in Peppermints and Tower Records and Goodies.
Ooh, Tower Records.
Blockbusters.
Retail.
Like, you couldn't even get your product in these stores. So, for me to create the market for underground music to even be able to come out, sell it, people can come by, pick up your money, and to see it now with no stores no more and the digital stuff, I'm just glad Atlanta was able to withhold all of that movement that I blueprinted here.
Yeah.
And a lot of people came up through that blueprint and came up, man.
Atlanta
is big.
You did lay out that blueprint.
And I think that blueprint created a lot of millionaires in Atlanta.
Yeah, and I mean, it opened up the Atlanta scene to up north, because I'm from up north too. So, coming to Freaknik and hearing all that music, that was like the gateway for the north to kind of grasp onto the Atlanta music scene.
We opened the world up to Freaknik. They couldn't even got our music. You couldn't even get Little John.
Yeah.
You had to buy our mixtapes to hear Who You With. We broke Who You With one Freaknik on Auburn Avenue. We sold about 3,000 of those tapes with Who You With, Lil Jon. So,
wow.
And it popped after Freaknik.
Yeah.
Y'all hear that shit? He said, say it again. Oomp, you said you broke Who You With on the streets.
On the street, Lil Jon, Freaknik. We sold about 3,000 tapes with his song on it, and that went all over the world. People came here from everywhere for Freaknik. Like, you had people from every state in this city for Freaknik.
I mean, bumper to bumper.
And you bought our music, though. Yeah. Our music is what you bought when you got here.
Now, what year did you get started? And when you said, all right, I'm going to really get serious about it. Because not to blow your spot up, I mean, for those who, street nigga, he was out in the streets, but he transitioned into the businessman that he is now, into the music, into the stores, into having a production company and all that. But what year did you say, all right, this is really how, I mean, because I know, and I'm jumping around, but, Oomp outside of music, he has real estate and all that. But just with the music, like I said, you had a situation where, like a lot of other niggas in the industry, you push that street
I came
shit
out
to
the streets. I was in the streets, and from while I was in the streets, I was building that DJ Jelly MC Assault brand. And in '91, we opened our first store up in Greenbrier Flea Market in 1991. And then that same year, we opened up another store in Old National Discount Mall. And within that time, we all young. I'm like, 19 maybe? But I'm straight street hustling like a fool. You know what I mean? And we built that brand. And after I started Big On Records.
And what year did you start Big On Records?
I want to officially say
93, 94.
Nah, I started it in 96.
Okay.
I started it in 96, but the first record that popped Big On Records off was 1998, Sammy Sam, Ride With Some Players.
Ooh,
that like officially set Big On Records out to the public. That's a real label.
And who did you do that deal? Was that wasn't you didn't was that through Ichiban Records?
I was independent. I did that independent.
And we go, and not to cut you off, but I am. You were one of the first cats to have that independent mind frame, and not just the mindset of like, hey, we gonna stay independent, like you say. You had the whole, go back to that blueprint work. You had the stores, so you was able to sell your own shit out of the store, so you didn't have to depend on nobody. All that was coming. Your producers did the tracks. So you was a one-stop shop before
Well, see,
a lot of
I originally created the whole 360 deal before the labels just started.
and I was gonna get to that. We talked about that before.
I created that years ago.
Yeah.
The producers, the writers, publishing company,
Everything right.
everything right
Oomp
there on my
Camp,
umbrella.
Big Oomp Records.
So you were
Everything.
ahead. You were ahead.
Oh,
of
he
your
was
time.
definitely. That's why it was so important for me to get him in here, Jamie.
Right.
Is because, and I've been saying this, and it's interesting because me and Killer Mike had this conversation about you too on your importance to this to the city and to the movement. Because like he just said, Jamie, everything was. I mean, when you saw Oomp Camp, you saw DJs in the club. If you wanted some hot ass beats, you can go to Oomp.
Yeah.
It had the artists. It was across the board. They promoted. They broke records, and the model and blueprint. It was there, and I just want to say thank you because if it weren't for cats like you, I came in the game in 95, 94, and I watched. Even though we're about the same age. But I watched you. I looked up to you, bro. Like as far as the shit you was doing and what and I was just taking notes.
So how did y'all meet?
Now, I got to think about that.
I don't even know.
Damn.
I don't remember.
Has it been that long?
Yeah.
Come on, old timers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been that long.
I will say this. I know one of the first times I met him, he was, not the stature. When I met him, it was not on no groupie shit or nothing, but I was like, damn, all right, that's Oomp. And I think it might have been at your store in the West End. In the West End. That was, I'm talking about, that was in the 90s.
I opened that up in 2001.
Okay, well, it was before then because we met before then.
Okay.
But regardless, I know it was at one of his
But I
stores.
probably was seeing you around at radio functions and stuff, because back then I used to really be heavy in the streets. That's how we was able to get the doors open. So I was bumping into you a lot, but I just remember just good vibes every time I saw you. I don't remember nothing ever negative.
Yeah, I
And
appreciate
I just remember we just been friends since. Every time we bumped into each other, it was just always love. So I don't remember how we met or when we met,
but it's always
it's
been
like
a
it
mutual
was
respect.
considered. That's one of my homies or my buddies or
That's
my
what's up.
friends
Yeah.
right there.
That's what's up.
Yeah, and Jamie, in this industry, as you all know, it's hard to call somebody a real friend and this shit.
That's true.